Hi. Making this video for you has been on my heart for a little while because I've had this conversation with friends for a little while, which is the question, why am I eating chips every night? Or why are you eating chips every night? Why do we eat chips every night? I haven't eaten chips. I used to eat chips almost every night a couple of years ago, and I haven't in a while. And what I found is that a lot of the people, I don't know even how this conversation comes about, but it has come down to this. So if you're out there wondering why you eat chips every night, I'm gonna help you see what I uncovered. Hey Jesse, how are you? It's nice to see you guys are on there. Jane. So what I noticed is that, like, in my sobriety, so I got sober and then I really liked to work. That helped me not feel as well. And then after I was unable to work because I hurt myself on a laptop, then I got really into spirituality and I went really deep in that when I was in Bali. And then when I stopped doing that, when I had a bottom with that, I was left with myself. And what I've noticed is, and what I've talked to other people, what I notice is that most of us, I mean, it's part of regular American conditioning, have a lot of deep-seated inadequacy and shame. We have these feelings of unworthiness, we're not enough, we're not lovable, we're not going to be enough, we're not enough, just period. And so from that place of unworthiness comes obviously a desire, nobody wants to feel that. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to feel that I'm not enough or I'm unlovable. And it's not even super conscious for most of us, but there's this underlining feeling that we don't want to feel. And so what happens is we reach for whatever works. So we either reach for alcohol, or we reach for obsessively working out or working too much. And what's really common is that people reach for chips. And this is, like I said, it's just really kind of funny because I don't really hear people talking about it. But if you're wondering why you're eating chips every night, it's probably because you're not, hey Jesse, it's probably because you're not feeling your feelings. And this is what I would invite you to do if you're interested in not eating chips every night, is not to stop. I don't believe that going cold turkey on anything when it's not a serious thing is necessary. There's a gray in this, right? So if you notice that you're feeling like you want to go and have that unhealthy food choice, or buy the bag of chips, right? Or you're buying it, or you don't want people to see how many bags of chips you've eaten. It just sounds funny, but it's like real. This is real. So what I would suggest is just pause and feel your feelings. Like, literally drop down is the mindfulness stuff. Like, why practice mindfulness? So that you can actually live the life that you want to live. You know what I mean? So you can create the life that you want to live. In order to, like, a lot of my clients are entrepreneurs, they're creative, they're visionaries, they have something big on their hearts, like a big vision that they want to create something new in the world. And if you want to create something new in the world, then the way to do that is by being willing to feel your feelings. So this is how, like, you eating chips is actually blocking you from making money and excelling in your business. Like, it's more than the bag of chips. It really is. It's actually you learning how to live the life that you feel called to live. And so especially if you have a big vision, if you're a visionary and you have a big vision on your heart, you're going to need to be able, you're going to want to, I would think, want to be able to feel your feelings so you can walk through your fear and not shove it down. So it's the guilt and the shame that we don't want to feel. And why would we, right? Why would we, without being conscious, why would we want to feel guilt or shame? But the thing is that if we don't feel the guilt or the shame or the inadequacy or the unworthiness, we're going to be led by it. It's going to be driving us, where it's like we wake up in the morning and we get in the car and our shame and our guilt and our fear drives us around all day long. It has this is what it looks like. We don't take action on our business. We, especially entrepreneurs, we're not doing the thing that we say we want to do. We're trying to make a perfect website instead of actually going out and letting people know that we're a coach, or letting people know that we're a speaker, or whatever it is that you do. So not taking the action in alignment with our heart and our spirit. And not stepping up, not like if you want to be in a relationship, not asking people out, not going on dates, not showing up. So it's pretty much just not showing up for life. And so that's what it is. And so when we're okay with our feelings, when we're okay to let the guilt come and, like, feel it, okay, I feel guilty right now. And the difference between guilt and shame is guilt is what I did was bad, and shame is I am bad. It's the deep-seated inadequacy. And so if we're not willing to feel that, we're going to run from it. It's going to drive us. It's going to keep us in a life that we aren't satisfied in. And the way to stay in that unsatisfied life, part of that is the eating the chips. It's eating something or doing something that's going to block how we feel, because we don't want to feel those feelings. And this is it. Like, let's just try it right now. So drop your attention, like, go into your mind. Take a deep breath through your nose. Exhale through your nose. And just notice if you have, close your eyes if they're not already closed. Just notice if you have any sensations in your body. Like maybe you notice that your heart's beating. Or you notice that maybe there's tingling in your shoulder, maybe there's little pain in your hand, or an ache in your knee or something. Any sensations you feel in your body. Just notice any sensations right now that you feel in your body. And let's take another deep breath. Inhale. And then as you exhale, open your eyes. So that's how we feel our feelings. That's how we feel the sensations in our body. And we don't need to stay stuck on the story of my knee aches, therefore I'm not going to be able to run, and I've never been able to run, and my life is never the same since my knee hurt. That's the story, right? That's the story that we can learn how to drop with mindfulness. But if instead you just notice that your knee is buzzing, notice there's a sensation of your knee, that's the same thing as when you're want to reach for that bag of chips. Instead of doing that, first, drop into your feeling. Close your eyes. Ask yourself, like, okay, what do I feel? Where are the sensations right now? What's coming? What do I need right now? There's so much power in that sentence. What do I need right now? And then if you still want to eat the chips, by all means, eat the chips. But check in with yourself first. Start getting in touch with the way that you feel. Even like little bits by bits, like notice how you feel and then go into the chips, or don't go into the chips at all, but instead of running away from the feelings, go into them. And why? Because when you start going into your feelings, that's when you could start going into your fear and using it as courage, so that if you want to launch your own business, if you want to excel at the company that you're working for, if you want to show up vulnerably in your relationship, if you want to have super intimate contact with your friends or with your lover or your husband or your wife, if you want to be able to be in these rich moments, then it's by practicing learning how to drop into our feelings, knowing that guilt and shame aren't real, right? Feelings, they're not facts. So that if I feel that I'm not good enough, that's bullshit. If I feel that I'm not lovable, that's bullshit. It's not real. It's an old story. And we can drop that old story by just dropping into the sensation that we feel in the moment. So I see that there are some people on there right now. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Penny. So go ahead, give me a comment if you have any questions about this. It was really surprising to me to, not super surprising, but how many people brought up in conversation that they were eating chips every night and that they had shame around it. So it's interesting, right? So instead of having the shame around, I'm not good enough, I'm unlovable, they eat the chips to not feel that, and then they have the shame around eating the chips. So it's like misplaced. And so if you just set the chips aside for a minute or two, drop into your feelings, that is self-empowerment. That is the road to radical self-love, radical acceptance. That is the path to being an entrepreneur and being successful. This is like literally what I talk with on the phone or on Skype with my clients. Like I just got off the call with a client. I have another one later today. I've talked to both of them about this before, about dropping into your feelings and feeling your feelings so you can go into that badass life that you want to live. You know, and if you are able to feel your feelings, you will be unstoppable. Because it is the feeling of shame and guilt and fear that we can get more comfortable with that will allow us to take those steps and take those actions confidently in the direction of our dreams. So I hope you're having a beautiful day out there. And remember, before you pick up the chips, just take a minute to check in with how you feel. Ask yourself what you need. This is the path to self-love. And self-love is the antidote to shame. Shame's not, I'm unlovable. Something's not wrong with me, so I'm not enough. And then when we learn to love ourselves, even love the part of us, that the bullshit story that we've been told, and let that go, that's the path to self-love. And from self-love, everything is possible. Because if you truly loved yourself, you would probably have healthy food choices, but you would also take action in the direction of your dream. Like, none of this is guaranteed. Like, some of us aren't going to wake up tomorrow. That's real. That's reality. We're all in the delusion that we're going to live forever, or a lot of us are, that we're invincible. But the reality is our time is limited. And so why not take that opportunity to feel your feelings and move anyways in the direction of what you actually want to do? Risk winning. Risk getting what you want. If we don't take action, we lose. If we take action, we at least risk getting to live the life we want to live. So go out there. Oh, hey, Penny. I'm in stress after eating during my... Yeah, totally. And there is a comfort to it, but we can also learn to comfort ourselves. And I think pretty much everyone does this. Like, I truly believe that we're probably all addicts in some way or another. It's just what works for you. What is it that cuts off the feelings you don't want to feel? And whatever that is for us. Like for me, I was an alcoholic. You know, I drank to not feel, and that's not an option for me anymore. I've been sober almost, next month will be 8 years. So what are we doing to not feel? Is in dropping into our feeling, understanding how simple it is, that mindfulness. Like if you're just joining on now, watch the beginning of the video where we did that minute or that couple of breaths of mindfulness. That's how you grow in self-empowerment. It's really that simple. It's accepting your humanity, embracing your humanity, understanding that we're going to have these uncomfortable feelings and taking that action anyway. And when we have those cravings for the food, to check in first. What's really going on here? What do I really need right now? Is it inadequacy? Is it unworthiness that's coming up? Can I feel that just a little bit longer today? Can I feel that for one more second today than I did yesterday? And then that's growth. That's the path. That's the path to probably everything that you want in your life. You know, like really, this is the stuff that when people come to me to work with me as a coach, they want to talk about their businesses. Most of them are entrepreneurs and coaches, creatives, visionaries, people with a big vision on their heart. And what we end up getting into is the stuff that's blocking us from taking the action to live our dreams. And this is the stuff. This is the stuff. The guilt, the shame, the fear. So if you can take this lesson on your own, and run with it, I'm sure just this will completely transform your life. So if you're like a boat that's next to the shore and you take this turn where you're willing to feel the feelings at least another breath or two than normal each day, then it's like the boat that goes just 1 degree off. Over time, the shore is gone. You're in a whole different trajectory with your life. So by feeling those feelings, you can radically transform your life. Let's see. Oh, Penny, yeah. It's, and a lot of what I work with clients is grief. Grief, a lot of us don't want to feel the grief, or it's really hard. It's just really heavy on the heart. And I love that, the people who are willing to be brave to feel their grief, those are the ones that are going to be able to have their heart stay open to love and open to taking those chances on themselves and believing in themselves and creating the life that they really want to live. When we open our hearts up to life, we get to experience the richness and fullness of life. So, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for your comments. Send me a private message if you want. I love hearing from you, and any topics you want me to talk about for future videos, I'm totally open to hearing them. And I just, as silly as this one was, it's really transformative to put down the chips for a moment and just take those breaths. So I hope you're having a beautiful day out there. I'm just, actually, I'm in Los Angeles at my sister's house. I love her sign. Her and her daughter painted this. You can, and a story. I know it's backwards for you guys. But I'm having a beautiful time here in LA and soaking up the family time. And we actually just surprised my 9-year-old niece this morning. We're taking her to Britney Spears tomorrow. We're going to Vegas. Road trip to Vegas! So that should be fun. I secretly am a huge fan of Britney Spears. This will actually be my 3rd time seeing her. So I hope you're having a beautiful day out there and live like you mean it. All right, bye guys.